Welcome to the how-to yoga. This is a tip that really is important, not only to me, but of course to all of you out there. Doing yoga burps. I've heard those, or burpees, or those push-up, jumping forward practices. So this is just a little information of how to, no matter who you are. Oh, I'm just gonna let my dog in. He's like outside right here. Come on in, Tyson. So yoga burps are pretty much presented in a lot of athletic programs, and I find that they're a bit much for people that do not yet have the understanding of their anatomy or flexibility. So this is what we're going to do. Let us begin in a standing posture. You can hear my dog. So come to the top of your mat, or wherever you are in your gym, standing in a mountain pose. So beginning in a fundamental root of the 4 points of your feet. Big ball mound, inner heel, baby ball mound, outer heel. Your feet could be together, they could be hip distance, they could be shoulder or as wide as your mat. So when you begin this practice, you want to be able to have this flexibility first of all. So you're not starting from the floor getting up, you're starting standing. When you're ready, you can invite your arms and feel how tall you are. Then start to exhale, really hinging your hips back. Let that bum go back. Allow your ribs to touch your thighs and then touch the floor. Now, if you happen to have yoga blocks, that's a great practice. But first, take your hands back behind you, tuck your head in, and get into that forward fold with your knees bent, creating some flexibility. You're warming up. Then inhaling, finger pads to your blocks. I'm just going to reassess my feet further back so I have space between my armpits and my hips, between my hands and my heels. Then exhale, forward fold even deeper. Let your head go. Take your hands now as wide as your mat, and then start to step one foot, and you could be on your finger pads, and then the other foot back, landing your downward dog hands, stepping into a plank pose. Exhaling, lower the knees to the mat, feet up off the mat, and start to shift your body weight forward as you tone the belly so that you're bending your elbows in towards your hips. Plantar flex your feet, extend through the crown of the head and reach your arms straight back. So playing with this, strengthening your back, strengthening your legs, strengthening your foundation, then landing your hands at your lowest ribs, curl your toes under, lift your shoulders, tone the belly, hands, knees, and toes. See how I'm lifting up? Straighten the elbows. Move your bum back towards your heels. So you're quite active in this. Your toes are curled under. Reassess your hands as wide as your yoga mat. Press the mat away with your hands. Float the knees up. Exhale to a downward dog. Let your head go. Lift your heels, bend your knees. And then from there, you could play in your down dog. So yoga burps don't need to be so fast. Slow it down. You could come up onto your finger pads and then start to walk your feet towards your hands. Then reassess your hands up on your blocks so that you can feel and breathe in your belly. Otherwise, there's a lot of scrunching going on. Exhale, go deeper in towards your shins. Again, if your feet knees need to be wider for your boobie and your bellies, let it go. Hands to the back of the calves. Then start to lower your heels, sweep your arms forward and rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So instead of going from the floor up, start from the standing down. So once again, inhale, straighten up, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge hips, knees, forward fold, let it go, back of the calves. Inhale, half back, blocks or no blocks, bend your knees so that your finger pads can touch the floor and or block so that your spine's long. So it's not doing one of these. So you're really activating all those back muscles and your gluteal flesh. Then exhale, go deeper. Now you have the flexibility. Maybe you could touch the floor a little bit more with your knees bent. Finger pads in line with your feet. Inhale, step right foot, left foot back into plank as you reassess your hands into the root knuckles. Beautiful. Shift your body weight forward, lower the knees. Feet can come off the mat. Bend your elbows. Chaturanga. Inhale to your salamba. This all strengthens for yoga burps, trust me, or burpees. Exhale, hands to your lowest ribs. Knees, hands, and toes. Lift your pubis. Hug your elbows in. Bum towards your heels. Reassess your hands as wide as your mat. Float the knees up. So you got to Resist the floor with your hands to float the knees up. Downward facing dog, keep your knees bent, let your head go. And this is where everybody's hopping forward. I suggest that you bring your shoulders forward, come up onto your finger pads, and walk your feet towards your hands as you extend your spine up onto blocks. Blossom your bum, bend your knees as much as you need to. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips back and rise all the way up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. So it becomes more effective. You're not snapping yourself into submission. You're not tearing ligaments. You're not tearing tendons. You're being kind to yourself. So let's do that again. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, hinge. Look how hinged out I am. All the way down. Inhale, half back. Blocks or no blocks. Feel the length of your spine. Exhale, go deeper. Open your knees as much as you need to with your feet. Touch down, step back. Plank pose. Exhale, knees to the mat, or no knees, move through your chaturanga, pubis to the mat, tops of the feet to the mat, roll your shoulders back. Give yourself a little strengthening here by just reaching your arms back and really practicing strengthening your body. Hands at your lowest ribs, curl toes under, hands, knees, lift the pubis, bum back, reassess your hands as wide as your mat, float the knees up, exhale, downward facing dog. And if you feel like you gotta hop, you just gotta hop, bring your shoulders forward, and this is where you can either hop, as I lose my mic, or you can definitely step. So just reminding yourself, what are you doing? Are you here to injure yourself? So I'm gonna move back into this, and I'm gonna step, come up onto the finger pads. Inhale, half back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step it back. So a lot of you are hopping it back. I highly suggest that you don't until you are such an avid yogi or athletic person. Salamba Asana is a great way to strengthen your body and prepare yourself for jumping back. Curl the toes, press back. If you really need to hop forward when you move back, then you gotta shift your shoulders forward. See how much my shoulders are moving forward? And then inhale, half back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale from chair pose all the way up. Exhaling to Anjali Mudra. I hope that really helps. Let's do that again. There you have it. There's the yoga tip that I really strongly believe is a necessity for anybody moving forward into their practices. And you don't want to injure yourself. You want to be in that practice and you want to follow along in class that everybody else is doing. Yet, are you doing it for the sake of doing it to look good like everybody else? Or are you doing it because you know this is beneficial for you, and what are you doing to create a beneficial practice for yourself? So yoga burpees or burpees, make sure you're doing them healthfully and that you're not injuring your shoulders, your hips, because you know what? There's nothing like 6 months of recovery for torn ligaments and tendons. Okay, I hope that helps. Namaste, everybody. Slowing it down and being really mindful is the practice.